Regina head up the Simmental side of things. Joe and Aaron run Twin View Livestock, raising elite Gelbvieh cattle. Ron and Lisa and their lovely daughter Cassie operate Abound Livestock, specializing in high-power Angus cattle. A constant remains throughout, where everyone works together when it's needed. From big jobs to advice, everyone's idea, and everyone is just a phone call away. City View Simmentals and Abound Livestock now partnered together to host the annual sale. They believe strongly in the value of family and working together towards a common good. City View Simmentals, the Barnett family of Moose Jaw would like to thank the Saskatchewan Simmental Association for honoring them with this very prestigious award. Congratulations, City View Simmental, Purebred Breeder of the Year. That's about 140 miles long, that one. Yeah. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you, certainly no stranger to the Simmental business and certainly no stranger to the Canadian Western Agribition, Mr. Bruce Holmquist.
Thanks, Glenn. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly an honor to be here representing the Canadian Simmental Association. This will be my last time doing this in this capacity. I've had a lot of great memories in not only this ring at different events across Canada representing Simmental. Time to pass the torch to someone new and looking forward to assisting with that. But more importantly, I want to bring greetings from President Randy Noble and the CSA Board of Directors. We have several directors here exhibiting, some in the crowd, some online from Eastern Canada. It's been a very good year for Simmental and for the CSA. No secrets coming out on too much there because it's translated into great prices in the sale ring and value created for the breeders and by the breeders. An important part of our programming association is with the Friends of Canadian Simmental Foundation, and I'm happy to have our Vice President Mark Sholigan here to make some special announcements. Thanks again, everyone. Here's Mark.
Well, thank you very much, Bruce. For those of us in the crowd here, let's put our hands together for Bruce as he brings greeting from our Simmental board and the staff. It's been a great run here, Bruce. Thank you guys very much. But on behalf of our Simmental Foundation, we just want to let everyone know about one of the great announcements we had, our Friends of Canadian Simmental Foundation scholarship winners for 2025. Every year we give out 5 scholarships, a total value of $15,000. And this year we had an incredible group of candidates that were evaluated and selected, and our top 5 are here announced. The Friends of Canadian Simmental Foundation, we have 3 $1,000 winners. We'd like to congratulate Jackson Corner from Ontario, Max Burris from Alberta, Shelby Wojcik from Saskatchewan, and Lily Howell from Alberta. They all receive a $3,000 Friends of Canadian Simmental Foundation scholarship. As well this year, our overall high point was awarded our Trevor Vance first-year scholarship. This is for a first-year academic person, and that is valued at $3,000. And this year, both our first-year scholarship winner and our overall winner was Heidi McFadden from Ontario. So congratulations to all of those scholarship winners. We'd like to thank everyone for supporting the Friends of Canadian Simmental Foundation, our nonprofit foundation. We have our annual sale every summer, and we'd like to thank everyone that continues to support the FCSF throughout the year. We'll turn it back to our announcer, Glenn.
Well, thank you very much, Mark, and certainly it's great to acknowledge all the scholarships throughout the year, and certainly we do encourage the youth, whether it's in the Simmental Association or all the other good breeds that are being shown here at Canadian Western Agribition. Youth is our future, and that's what we try to promote and help out wherever we can. We're back in the Simmental pen here in the GMC Arena. Going to start with the percentage bulls born in 2025. We do have 2 exhibitors in this class, entry 3246 MRC Heavy Hitter 10N, and entry 3249 Cliffs Broker ET 53N. Chase Miller, if you're still within earshot, we would certainly love you to come back up to the announcer stand if you would, please. And if anybody in the barn area knows where Chase is, please send him back up to the announcer stand. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while our first class is in the ring and our judges, Tyson Hurt and Mrs. Corrine Gibson, are evaluating these two bulls, I'd like to turn your attention to the big screen.
We move into our percentage bull show here, and a nice set of calves. We just opted to use the softer sided, a little freer moving calf to win the group here. One that we really like the skull and the presentation on, and just how he ties in, at the top side of his blade there. The big rugged calf comes to us in second. One with probably more muscle if you were to get push and shove on him, but for us, we just want to see him just go a little easier off his rear ankles, but undeniable amount of muscle shape in that calf.
They got to come back for the banners, don't they?
No, because this is, they don't, purebred don't do that.
Oh.
Sharp.
And first place in our percentage bull calves, born in 25, entry number 3249, Cliffs Broker ET 53N, shown by the Cliffs Farm of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And in second place, entry number 3246, MRC Heavy Hitter 10N, M&R Cattle Company, Wimborne, Alberta.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We do want to recognize those two bull calves that just left the ring. The champion will receive the banner courtesy of Wheatland Semitals, and the reserve champion from R Plus Semitals as well. Class in the ring is the percentage bull born in 2023.
A really good individual here, a single entry, and I always joke on the single entries, it's the one class that we can all agree on. So there's my terrible dad joke. But this is a pretty good calf here. He's good skulled, and he's square on the corners. He's got some muscle and some length and some eye appeal to him. I think he's a really good individual with enough body and shape. I congratulate this gentleman for bringing out a good one.
And your champion percentage bull here at the Canadian Western Exhibition in our Semitol show here this afternoon, receiving the banner from Blush Rose. Again, this is entry 3250, CD Lionhearts 3746, Canadian Sires and Donors, Mountain View County, Alberta. We're now bringing our two representatives from the calf division as well as the bull from the senior division. This will be the grand champion and reserve grand champion percentage bulls. The grand champion banner is sponsored by Borson Marketing. Reserve champion banner for a percentage bull sponsored by Blair's Ag Cattle Company.
I do commend these exhibitors for bringing out these bulls, and you know, as we get closer and closer to bull sale season, I hope that you guys watching ringside will go back to the stall and visit with these exhibitors and how they can fit into your program. You know, obviously the hybrid vigor is there in these cattle, and it's evident in terms of the quality as well. You know, obviously not a huge numbers, but I think there's two really good bulls out here, and we're going to go ahead and use the big guy for our champion, and then follow up with the white face for reserve. But two exceptional individuals, and I commend them for bringing them out. I know it's a smaller show, but I appreciate the time, effort, and financial investment that they put into bringing these cattle out.
And your champion, the percentage bull here at the Canadian Western Agribition, is entry 3250, CD Lionheart. 3746. Again, the banner being presented and sponsored by Borson Marketing. And your reserve champion goes to entry number 3249, coming out of the calf division, Cliffs Broker ET 53N, shown today by the Cliffs Farm of Saskatoon. And our reserve champion is sponsored by Blair's Ag Cattle Company.
Okay, folks, we'd like to welcome you on the other side of the ring to our 2025 National Gelbvieh and Balancer Show. If we could have our first class in the ring, I believe our judges are ready. Our judges for today are Lee and Don Wilson from Miller Wilson Angus. Once again, welcome folks to our 2025 Canadian National Gelbvieh Show. First class in the ring will be our female purebred born April 1 to August 1st. We have 2585 Flaidland Katie 36N ET, exhibited by Flaidland Livestock, Gladmar, Saskatchewan. We have RAD Supernova Sensation 211N, exhibited by LCF Gelbvieh of Hazlitt, Saskatchewan. 2587 RWG Kitty N457 ET, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh, Red Deer County, Alberta. 2586 RWG Kitty N450 ET, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta. We have 2588 LCF Sugar Lily 36N, exhibited by LCF Gelbvieh Livestock, Hazlitt, Saskatchewan. And rounding out our class is 2584 AWB Twin View Sugar 122N, exhibited by Twin View Livestock, Parkbeg, Saskatchewan.
Well, what have we got? Is this on? Hello? Hello, hello, hello? This one? Still there? Testing, testing, testing. There we are. No, I think I got it, don't I? Yep.
We're going to get some technical support here, Don. We'll get it figured out.
No worries.
That means I'm not going to be involved.
Well, we have a wonderful class to start this Gelbvieh show out with. We got two really strong heifers on the top of this class, and you could certainly mix and match them as you want. We're going to go with this power heifer on top. She's got a lot of middle, a lot of body. Her shoulder ties into her so nicely, into a beautiful neck and head. She strides out free and easy. She's got tons of width when you get in behind her. Big body, looks cowy all over. We really appreciate this heifer in behind her too. Again, a heifer, when you get in behind her, you appreciate how stout she is, how solid top she is. A female, again, that's got lots of middle. A female that certainly ties into her shoulder nicely as well. Just not quite as much as this heifer's got on top. For her age, there's really negligible age difference in them, but we really like both these heifers. We get into a really classy fronted little heifer that gets in third here. There's not a lot of age difference really from top to bottom in this class. We like a lot of things about this heifer. She's really a wide-based heifer, a female that certainly tracks out well. We would make her a little stronger in her heart girth, tie her shoulder and lay it in a little bit flatter to put her any higher today. She gets a little bit higher flanked and not quite as much body as these heifers, and we don't want to be hard on that heifer because she's certainly got lots. It's just she's in some tough company. Then another big middle black heifer that comes in next, really solid top heifer. She really holds her top and her really flat and level and beautiful. She gets a little bit more brisket than some of these other heifers, gets a little finer boned when you get especially into her hind leg in comparison to the heifers on top of her, but we really appreciate her. There's a lot of heifer there, a lot of length of body. Again, certainly ties into her shoulder and her neck very, very nicely. We get into the black heifer next, and again, lots of good in this heifer. She's really a long-bodied individual. She's certainly a strong enough topped individual. She gives up a little bit of the capacity in the middle of her body in comparison to the heifers on top of her. That's the only thing that's going to put her there today, but there's still so much good in that heifer, and we really appreciate her. Then we round up with the red heifer in this class that, again, there's certainly lots and lots of good in that heifer. She's giving up some power and performance in middle to some of these other heifers, but we really appreciate her. There's lots of good in her. Certainly a good class top to bottom, but a really strong top end.
Thank you, Judge. We'll first place in this class on our Gelbvieh side is RWG Kitty N457ET by Royal Western Gelbvieh. Second goes to AWB Twin View Sugar 122N from Twin View Livestock, Park Beg, Saskatchewan. Third is Flaidlin Katie 36N ET, exhibited by Flaidlin Livestock, Gladmar, Saskatchewan. Fourth was RWG Kitty N450, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh. Fifth was 2589 RAD Supernova Sensation from LCF Gelbvieh Livestock, Haslett, Saskatchewan. And rounding out our class in sixth place was LCF Sugar Lily 36N, also exhibited by LCF Gelbvieh of Haslett, Saskatchewan. Second will now be, Class 2. They were also our junior champion heifer calves, those two first and second there. 2587 will be your champion. 2584 will be your reserve. Now we have one entry in Class 3. We have female born February 16, March 31st. We have an entry 2590 DVE Davidson Miss Tip 176N, exhibited by Davidson Gelbvieh, Pontex, Saskatchewan.
And back in the Simmental side of the GMC arena, we're proud to be moving into our purebred bull division. Of course, this would be the Junior Bull Calves 2025 with a birth date February 7th through to March 5th. We do have 4 exhibitors in this class. Once again, February 7th through to March 5th.
On the Gelbvieh side, when we had our junior champion heifer calves there, they received a banner award from Flaidland Livestock, sponsored, and our reserve heifer calf in the last class there received a banner from Cowlick Ranch of Alberta.
Well, what a nice baby we got in this March class. She's a heifer with a lot of length of body. She's got a lot of shape to her. She's got a really nice foot in her, and heifer with a lot of rib shape and a lot of depth. I think she's just going to be a really good one. Look forward to seeing her in her division.
Winning the last class was DVA Davidson Miss Tip 176N. We're rolling into our Class 5, female born January 1 to February 15th, 2025. We have 5 entries. 2595 DVE Davidson Miss Excel 102N, exhibited by Davidson Gelbvieh, Pontiac, Saskatchewan. 2596 DRT Lonesome Sissy 148N, exhibited by Lonesome Dove Ranch of Pontiac, Saskatchewan. 2594 DVE Davidson Miss Optimus 69N, exhibited by Davidson Gelbvieh of Pontiac, Saskatchewan. Entry number 2593 AWB Twinview Rebecca 55N, exhibited by Twinview Livestock, Parkbeg, Saskatchewan, with an additional owner, Chloe Wagner. And rounding out our class, 2597 TIP BLT Sheila 001NET, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle Weyburn, and additional owner of Braden Thompson.
Back on the Simmental side, as we get into the purebred bulls, a class winner that Karina and I gravitated to, just a nice combination of levelness and muscle shape. A deep-sided kind of a calf that, I thought we found pretty quickly. The one in second finds a nice home in second. He is stouter-footed and bigger-legged kind of a calf that's as soft-sided as you could want one, and a good hair coat on this calf. He's maybe just a shot more common in terms of his skull shape, and we'd maybe just like to modify him on his ankles ever so slightly, but two kind of contrasting type on the top end. The bull we come to next is a long, stretchy kind of a calf. He's nice in terms of his condition for us today. For us, he's just a little straighter on his back wheels when you compare him to the two above him. And then the calf we round the class off with, we love the extension in this one and how long and level he is. For us, we just want to see a little more masculinity and punch on him.
Thank you very much, Tyson. We now have the placings in class number 33, our junior bull calves of 2025. In first place, entry number 32, Boundary Black, Prairie King 251N, Boundary Ranch of Robsart, Saskatchewan. In second place, entry number 32, Peters KG, Mr. Nacho Libra, 45M, Peter Semitals of Purdue, Saskatchewan. Third place, entry number 3275, MJP, Mr. Caliber, 24N with Porter Semitals, Canistano, Saskatchewan. And rounding out the top 4, we're going to go with entry number 3260, Halls, Mr. Folsom, 83N, shown today by Halls Cattle Company of Craven, Saskatchewan. We also like to thank Little Willow Creek Semitals sponsoring our championship banner for our junior bull calves, and Eric Semitals sponsoring the reserve champion banner. Next class in the ring in the Simmental pen will be class number 33, purebred bull calves born 2025. This is our intermediate division. These calves have an age split of January 19th through to January 26th. Once again, January 19th through to the 26th, purebred bull calves, intermediate division.
On the Gelbvieh side, our previous division winner, our intermediate division winner, was sponsored by Lonesome Dove Ranch. Again, in the ring is split one of the January to February 15th heifer calves.
For our folks following on DLMS, we do have one scratch in this split. That was entry number 3283. 3283 is a scratch in this class.
Well, over in the Gelbvieh side of the ring, we've got another really nice class of heifer calves here. We've got two really solid heifer calves on the top of this class. We really appreciate them. This is a beautiful headed heifer that starts this class out. That's such a feminine, attractive head in this heifer. Really attractive in her neck and right into her shoulder. She's really tidy in her chest floor. A female, when you watch them walk out, she walks out as true and wide as any heifer in the class, and that's kind of what sets her apart from the other heifers. She really balances up really, really well, this heifer. She's got lots of expanse in her middle and the right kind of shape for us, where it's really a bold rib but not soggy. She's just a beautiful female. The female that comes in next, now if you want straight performance, she probably outperforms this front heifer. She's a little longer bodied. She's got a lot of mass when you get in behind her. Really solid topped individual. Again, certainly an attractive enough head, a female that we like really, really well as well. A little bit longer body, but not quite as soft as this heifer on top is. And yet, again, I'm trying not to be too hard on a really, really good heifer because she's tremendously good. This heifer that sits on top of this class is just a little deeper from her flank to the top of her back, and that's what's going to put her where she is. Just balances up just a hair better than this heifer. Really like the heifer that comes in next as far as the length, the body that she's got. She's certainly a solid top female. She does track quite a bit narrower than these heifers on top of her. She wants to toe out a little bit on her fronts and gets a little plainer through her throat and her brisket compared to the two heifers on top of her, but we do appreciate how much length the body this heifer has. She's certainly clean enough in her lines. There's a lot to like about this really deep red heifer that comes in next. Again, a super long-bodied heifer. She's certainly a solid topped heifer. And then again, she does have enough width when you get in behind her. She does get to get a little softer topped, especially on the move, and a heifer that does give up a little bit of balance to these heifers on top of her. But boy, we appreciate a lot about that heifer. We appreciate the hair coat in her. Certainly not quite as pretty headed as certainly the top heifer, but we really like her as well. Then the heifer that rounds up the class, there's a lot of good in that heifer as well. You know, she frames out as big as any heifer in the class, and we certainly don't mind framing a female. A female that we give a little more flex to her pastern when she gets out on the move, and again, a little bit plainer made than some of these heifers on top, but there's so much good in that heifer. Again, lots of length of body and certainly some performance in her. Really strong class. Really do appreciate these two heifers on top.
Thank you, Judge. First in this class, in the first split of Gelbvieh calves, born January 1, February 15th, 2593 AWB Twin View Rebecca 56N, exhibited by Twin View Livestock and Chloe Wagner. Second in class, 2594 DVE Davidson Miss Optimus 69N, exhibited by Davidson Gelbvieh, Pontiac, Saskatchewan. Third in class, 2597 TIP BLT Sheila 001N ET, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle and Braden Thompson. Fourth, 2596 DRT Lonesome Sissy 148N, exhibited by Lonesome Dove Ranch, Pontiac, Saskatchewan. And rounding out our class was DVE Davidson Miss Excel 102N, exhibited by Davidson Gelbvieh, Pontiac, Saskatchewan. We now have class or split 2 of that same age group, January 1 to February 15th, 2025. We have entry 2592 AWB Twin View Natalie 6NET, exhibited by Twin View Livestock, Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. 2591 BBG Lola 6N Braylon Blake Gelbvieh, Glentworth, Saskatchewan. And we have 2598 TIP Miss Lily 3N, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle, Weyburn, Saskatchewan, with the additional owner of Rosso Charlet.
All right, back over here on our Simmental side as we move into a new division. Crean and I both gravitated to the black calf pretty quickly. You know, he's long and extended, he's up-headed, he's still got enough punch and power, good scrotal and testicular development. Motor's out here really good, and he's put together really nice. I do think it becomes a little bit of a discussion between second and third, the red calf. You know, he's definitely leaner in his condition, which we like at this stage of the game. You know, for us, I think he's bold enough, he's good enough looking. For us, when you compare him to that class winner, he maybe just doesn't have the flash and the skull shape that we see in him. But specifically over our third place, he still is cleaner in terms of his lines. The third place bull, we really like the power and foot underneath this calf. You know, he's a big, rugged kind of an individual. He is packing a little extra navel for us today, and then just some cosmetic things we would alter on him. The blaze face calf, you know, he hits you pretty hard when he comes in the ring. I think he's really up-headed. He's really athletic in terms of how he gets off his front end. When you analyze him on the move, he does want to drop his pins ever so slightly and come up in his spine, but we really like how long and extended and proud he is up through his front end, and that's definitely a class advantage. The next black baldy calf we come to, he's a deep-sided bull, a bull we really like for that rib shape and how he turns to his flank. When you get behind him, he's just a little plainer in terms of his muscle shape. The red calf we come to next, maybe just a little looser hided kind of a calf, and maybe not the show ring presence that we find at the top end. And then the bull we round the class off with a stout constructed individual. Just want to see him a little more relaxed in terms of the angle of his shoulder and hock.
Well, thank you very much, Tyson. In first place and your champion in your intermediate division. Of course, they'll receive the banner courtesy of Hoagie Livestock. Your first place is entry number 3269, WF Century 293N, shown today by Walgren Farms of Edgerton, Alberta. Second place and your reserve champion in division, receiving the banner from Tim Cattle Company, CJG Rusty 5N, a Goudy's Prairie Acres of Stoughton, Saskatchewan. In third place, let's congratulate entry 3278, NAC Caliber 115 and Norheim Light Simmentals, Rossburn, Manitoba. Fourth place, entry number 3270, Scott Excalibur 27N, Scotland and Cattle of Arrowwood, Alberta. In fifth place, entry number 3285, Double Bar D Capital 464N, Double Bar D Ranch of Grenfell. Entry number 3281 is sixth place, Pheasantdale Paddy Wagon 158N, Pheasantdale Cattle Company of Belcaris. And rounding out the top seven to be entry number 3251, Peter's Mr. Oil Money 24N, Peter Simmental, Purdue, Saskatchewan.
Hello. What a nice heifer we got to win this class. I think just one that really ties everything together. She's got some depth of body and lots of rib, and I think she's certainly feminine enough through that front end. Nice long neck on her, and a really good foot. This heifer is so sound. She rolls along the ring like with such ease. Then we got a big red heifer, and if I could change her, I'd give her a little more hawk probably. She gets a little straight down them hinds, and she's having a tough time showing me some flexibility through them hinds, but big-bodied heifer with a lot of hip and a lot of top in her, female with lots to offer. Red heifer down the line, I think female again, I'd like to stretch out that hip. She gets a little straight down her hinds and has trouble moving them today, but female is certainly attractive enough, pretty enough, really nice hair coat on her. 3 really good females.
Thank you, Judge. First in the split over on the Gelbvieh side was 2592 AWB, Twinview Natalie, 6NET, Twinview Livestock, Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. Second in class, coming back in for our championship, will be 2598 TIP Miss Lily 3N, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle, Weyburn, Saskatchewan, and Rosso Charlet. Third in class, 2591 BBG Lola 6N, exhibited by Braylon Blake Gelbvieh of Glentworth, Saskatchewan. We'll now be bringing in our previous first and seconds from the last 2 splits. We should have 2593, 2594, 2592, and 2598. And they'll be receiving a banner sponsored by P&R Cattle Company, and our reserve banner will be sponsored by Jonas Cattle Company.
In the Simmental pen right now, we're in class 33. This will be split 1 of our senior bull calves, January 9th through to January 16th. January 9th to the 16th, first class of our senior bull calves, class 33 in the purebred division.
Well, we have a very nice division in the ring here. We've got some heifers. They've got some substance and some style, and cattle that can track out free and easy. There's lots of flexibility in these cattle. Beautiful hair coats, presented well. We always go with cattle that, you know, we're looking to the future. We certainly don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we want them to make cows. That's what they need to do for us. So we like some balance. We like some rib shape, some middle, and still some performance in them, some width. And we're certainly happy with all 4 that are out here. With that, Lee's going to go out and select our champion and then our reserve.
Congratulations to Twinview Livestock and having first and second our champion and reserve champion senior heifer calves. The champion was AWB Twinview Natalie 6NET, entry number 2592, and the reserve was 2593 with AWB Twinview Rebecca 55N. Both exhibited by Twinview Livestock, Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. Congratulations. At this time, we have a moment. I'd like to welcome our judges on the Gelbvieh side, Lee and Don Wilson. They own and operate Miller Wilson Angus at Bashaw, Alberta. They have 3 children, Ty and Ariel, Dakota with Bobby, and Jalen with Lauren, as well as 10 beautiful grandchildren. Lee and Don have been in the Angus business for over 50 years, running over 200 cows and an extensive ET program. They're proud to have their sole livelihood come from the cattle and have exported genetics to 27 countries. Their passion for showing cattle has been evident in the many national champions displayed in Canada and around the world. And they have judged hundreds of cattle shows across North America and globally, in Argentina, and Australia, Sydney. They've been at Mexican National Angus Show in Ireland and South Africa. The breed shows they've judged included the Charolais, Highlands, Galloways, Angus, Brahma, Charolais, Dexter, Hereford, Highland, Limousin, Lowline, Simmental, Shorthorn, and Maine-Anjou. So today we'd like to welcome Lee and Don Wilson for Bashaw, Alberta.
Well, over here in the Simmental ring, we have two really stellar individuals here, and I think you guys can place them either way for yourself in the crowd. I know Tyson and I go back and forth on which one we are going to pick, and we're going with this black bull here. He's really square on his wheels. He has a good spine length. He has enough extension from his hooks to his pins, just an overall complete bull. Where we place him above the second is the hooks to the pins, the straighter on the back wheels, but I'll tell you, this guy has a lot of good things about him. There's little to no sheath. He's very good scrotal development for his age, and I really like this calf. Moving into third, we just don't have quite the capacity, but a long-bodied, nice hind leg set, good scrotal development. We move into the next bull, and there's just a little bit of extra sheath there for us today, and he doesn't quite balance out quite as well. The red bull we have coming next, just a little bit tighter in behind those shoulders, and we just like to free him up a little in his movement. And then the last place bull, a nice long-bodied bull. You got to really appreciate him for that. He just gets outpowered today.
Thank you very much, Corrine. The placings in Split 1 in our senior division on our bull calves. First place and returning to the championship drive will be entry number 3263, HFL Redline ET 5048N, Horner Cattle Company, Minnedosa, Manitoba. In second place, also returning to the championship drive, will be entry number 3267, Erickson 44N, Erickson Simmentals Incorporated, Clavet, Saskatchewan. Third place, entry number 3253, DK Tactical 9N, DK Land and Cattle Corp, Lampman, Saskatchewan. In fourth place, entry number 3277, NAC Caliber 37N, Northern Light Simmentals, Rossburn, Manitoba. Fifth place, entry number 3279, Riskin Commander 260N, Riskin Hope Farm of Craik, Saskatchewan. And rounding out the top six will be entry number 3265, GFD Lithium 22N, Grona Farms, Porcupine Plains, Saskatchewan. Class in the ring is Split 2 in the senior bull calves.
Over on our Gelbvieh side, we have our Split 1 of our bred females. We have 2599 Flaidland Mercury 12M, exhibited by Flaidland Livestock of Gladmar, Saskatchewan. We have entry number 2600 RWG Parkland M320, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta.
We'll correct that placing in the Simmental. The first place was 3253, DK Tactical, 9N, DK Land and Cattle Corp. Second, as announced, 3267, Erickson 44N. Third place goes to 3263, HFL Redline ET 5048N. Do apologize. Again, first place, 3253.
Well, we sure wouldn't argue with you if you want to switch these two heifers. They're two different types of females. We like the body of this front one. I prefer the front end of the second place heifer. I like her head a lot better than the heifer we're winning with. I think the heifer that wins it comes in just a little nicer package behind her shoulder. I think her teat structure looks a little more appealing to us today. And that's probably one of the bigger reasons we put her where we do. She's flatter sided. The second heifer has so much rib shape to her, it's incredible. But does she bounce up like the first one? Gives a little higher flank maybe for us today with all that shape she has. And she really is. She's 3 dimensions at every angle you look at her. I would change her teat structure a little bit today to beat the front heifer, but you guys make up your own mind. There's 2 really good heifers.
Thank you, Judge Wilson. Winning our class was 2600 RWG Parkland M320 from Royal Western Gelbvieh. Second in class was 2599 Flaidland Mercury 12M from Flagnan Livestock of Gladmar. We'll now have Class 8 in the ring. Will be our second split of females born January 1, February 29, 2024. TIP Miss Daisy 11M 2602 and entry 2601 BBG Mave 17M ET exhibited by Braylon Blake Gelbvieh.
Really like the top 2 bulls over here on our Simmental side, and I guess they're probably more similar than they are different if you ask me. The blaze face bull, I just prefer we just prefer his skull shape and just a little crisper in his lines in today's ring. But specifically, it would be the skull and head shape that we prefer on him over our second place. Both are big-bodied, stout, constructed.
Well, we've got 2 heifers in this Gelbvieh ring that we appreciate lots of things about each of them. We've gone with a heifer that can move out free and easy. She certainly tracks true and straight, and she's got lots of flexibility in her joints. Female that we'd certainly change the teat size in this heifer and placement. We really struggle with this heifer that comes in second. There's so much we like about this heifer. We really love her teat size and placement, and looks like she has the ability to lay down a beautiful udder. Where we really struggle is how she moves, and she struggles a lot off of her front end, and it's tough for us to use something that's just not as sound as she should be today. And in an ideal world, we'd be using that heifer to win this class, but we've made a judgment call that we just can't use that today, and maybe she'll come out of that, and maybe she won't. So unfortunately today, that's where she has to be because of that.
Winning our class in our second split is 2601 BBG Mave 17M ET from Braylon Blake Gelbvieh of Glentworth. Second was 2502 TIP Miss Daisy 11M exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle of Weyburn, Saskatchewan. We'll have our 2 split winners coming back in, and they'll be receiving a champion banner presented from Twin View Livestock and a reserve champion banner presented by RY Trail Vet.
killing that music. Well, we'll talk anyway. Well, we have a really interesting division in the Gelbvieh side here. We've certainly got some differences and variation in all of these heifers. There's certainly not any two of them that really go together. First of all, we have to have soundness in cattle for us. You know, they have to go out into the real world and make a cow, and it's tough when they struggle on the move, and sometimes it's not their fault, sometimes it is, but that's the first order of business. Structure is really, really important for us. We do, you know, like to have cattle with a beautiful udder. It's a thing that is visual. It maybe isn't always means that they're going to have the most milk for sure, but it's the most functional and sound udder for us. Then on top of that, we want them to have a beautiful head, come off of their front end really nice, tie in their shoulder, et cetera, et cetera. And again, we've got all kinds of differences in this ring, and we've already spoken about them in their class. With that, Lee's going to go out and select our two champions. We're pretty confident for us in the two that we're using, and congratulations to all.
There it is, folks, your champion and reserves champion females in our bred division. We have from class 1, 2600 RWG Parkland M320 is our champion, and as the reserve, 2599 Fladeland Mercury 12M from Fladeland Livestock. 2600 Parkland will receive a banner from Twinview Livestock, and 2599 will be receiving a banner from RY Trail Vet Services. On our Gelbvieh side, we have Class 10 coming in the ring. This is our female born 2025 with her 2020, or born in 2023 with her 2025 calf at side. We have 2504 RWG Daisy L475 with her calf at side. RWG Daisy N303, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh, Red Deer County, Alberta. We have RWG Goodnight L415 with her calf at side. RWG Goodnight N411, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta. Additional owner Keston Holman and Real World Genetics. We have 2603 AWB Twinview Lexus 58L, calf at side. AWB Twinview Lexus 80N. exhibited by Twin View Livestock, Parkbank, Saskatchewan, with an additional owner of Beamish Land and Cattle. Rounding out our class, we have 2607 DRT Lonesome Sapphire Jewel with her calf at side Lonesome Sapphire Gem 10N, exhibited by Lonesome Dove Ranch.
Probably one of the more challenging classes we've had on the Simmental side of things, and just if you could combine this class, there's attributes in each and every one of these bulls that I think have relevance not only in the breed but in the beef industry. You know, Crean and I quickly gravitated to the dark red calf that wins the class. You know, he's good enough looking, bold enough. He's got some body and some shape, and he gets out and moves good enough for us today. We thought he was a pretty safe place to start. There's a lot of discussion we had between second, third, fourth, all the way down, really, to be honest with you. And you know, I do want to admit this second place bull, I'd probably alter his tail head, how it lays in, and then just loosen him up in terms of his structure. But on the standstill, he does keep it together in terms of his hip and his top and his shape, and he is just, you know, an overwhelming bull in terms of muscle shape and squareness. But for us, we just want to see him just a shot more relaxed in his tail head. And then the one that we come to in third, a bull that I love the body shape on, you know, from the center of his rib back to his flank, he's really good. And he's got a nice turn there. He's got good testicular development. The longer he was out here was where we kind of, you know, went back and forth. Did he hold it together enough? He does want to, you know, pinch right behind his shoulder and then run downhill from tailhead to his front shoulder. And the longer he was out here, that became more and more evident to Crean and I. We think this bull's really good in a body shape standpoint. We just want to see him a little more elevated in his front end to compete with the two above him. The next bull is probably the most elite in terms of his look. This baldy calf comes out and hits you really hard. He just stands there with a proudness and a presence to him. He's really elevated in that front end, and he's long and smooth in the way he's put together. When push comes to shove, I do think he is one of the lighter muscled bulls in this class and probably one of the narrower chested ones. But I you know, just an undeniable amount of class advantages in the presence that he brings to the table. The bull that we come to next, he's a loose-hided son of a gun. He's got the extra hair and body, and you know, from a commercial breeder standpoint, I think that there's a lot to like about this bull. For us, we just want to tidy him up in his navel and then square him out of his hip. But I think that's a good rugged rascal there. The baldy bull that we come to next, and he's super square on the corners and agile in motion, and that's where his class advantages are, is he is probably the most athletic bull in this class when you ask him to go, with the most reach off of both ends. For us, he does taper to the base of his stifle, and the color pattern doesn't help, does look a little shelly out here when you compare him to our class winners, but a super athletic one. And then the bull we round the class off with, probably the longest spine bull in this class. So I think there's a lot to like about all these bulls. We kind of sorted through them how we put our preferences, but I do encourage you guys that are sitting ringside to mark your programs how you see fit, find the ones that work for your program.
Thank you very much, Tyson. We now have the placings in Split 3 in our senior bull calf division in the Simmental Purebreds. First place, returning to the championship drive, would be entry number 3273, City View Fireball 517N, City View Simmentals of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Second place, also returning to the championship drive, entry 3271, Boundary Formidable 8N, Boundary Ranch of Robsart, Saskatchewan. In third place, entry number 3272, City View Commander 507N, City View Simmentals of Moose Jaw. Fourth place, entry 3257, Pawn Neon Moon 521N, Southpaw Cattle Company of Carstairs, Alberta. In fifth place, entry number 3262, HFL Dark Horse 5020N, Horner Cattle Company, Minnedosa, Manitoba. In sixth place, entry number 3284, Double Bardee Capital 405N, Double Bardee Ranch of Grenfell, Saskatchewan. And in seventh place, entry number 3282, Clearwater Rudy 1N, Clearwater Simmentals of Mountain View County, Alberta. We're now going to bring back in our top two finishers in each of our three splits. Coming out of split 1 is entry number 3253 and 3267. Split 2 being represented by 3258 and 3261. And split 3, 3273 and 3271. Championship banner for the senior division, sponsored by DK Land and Cattle. Reserve champion is sponsored by Peters Semitals.
Coming out of this class on the female side on the Gelbviehs, it will be our champion and reserve champion 2-year-old females. And they will receive a banner for champion presented by Bluff Island Stock Farm and a reserve champion banner from LCF Gelbvieh Livestock.
Really strong senior division. Didn't mean to cut it. Senior division of bull calves here, and I think that, we sorted through and tried to find the ones with enough mass and muscle while keeping structural integrity in check. There's a lot of good cattle that we've sent back to the barns, but I always think that this senior bull calf and senior heifer to calf division is always the most impressive in the Simmental ring, and this one definitely doesn't disappoint. Karina and I have gone back and forth and landed on a conclusion, and she'll show you the two we like best.
And your champion senior calf coming out of split one, 32-53 DK Tactical 9N, shown today by DK Land and Cattle Corp. Lampman, Saskatchewan. Coming out of the same split, your reserve champion senior calf, entry number 3267, Erickson 44N, shown today by Erickson Semitals Incorporated, Clavette, Saskatchewan. Congratulations. Your champion receives the, kind of ironical, receives the banner sponsored by DK Land and Cattle, and your reserve champion from Peters Semitals.
Well, over in the Gelbvieh ring, we've got a beautiful set of cows. It's such a shame that we can't use all of these cows on the top of this class because we just love them top to bottom. This is as tough a class as we've had, as good a class as we've had, and you'd be really, really proud to be a Gelbvieh breeder in the ring right now. We've got an April 2-year-old with an April heifer calf on her, and she's big. I mean, if you don't like big cattle, you're not going to use this female. We never mind a big animal if they can hold themselves. She's got the kind of rib that we love. She's really got capacity. You get on top of this female and she's got a ton of rib shape and she's really wide pinned, a female that tracks really wide. She's got an exceptional leg in her, really the right kind of leg for us. She's got lots of flex in her pastern, as does the calf. Really nice through her hock. When you get down into their front end, they're beautiful fronted. They balance up so nice. Just tremendous top females, tremendous expansive rib on both calf and the cow. Lots of extension in their front end, beautiful headed females, and we just love this pair. Would we change her udder a little bit? We certainly would. There's lots of longevity in that udder though, and certainly enough milk in that udder. We've got a tremendous pair in second here, and you could certainly argue that they could win this class as well. If you don't like big cattle, you're going to go to this second pair. This is a February heifer calf on a February cow. And again, you have to appreciate when these 2-year-olds come out and they're calving right at 24 months and they're doing a job on the calf like this cow is. Same as our front cow. We got a really nice heifer calf on this cow. I would argue that this calf is maybe better than the cow. I really appreciate the type of rib shape that she's got. She's got lots of barrel, really ties in nicely into her shoulder. She's got lots of forerib and lots of rib behind. A female that you get in behind her, you certainly aren't disappointed. She's got lots of shape. She's got it right down into her stifle. Again, moves out and is attractive. The cow doesn't balance up quite as nice for us as the calf does or the front pair, and yet we really like her. We don't want to be hard on a really, really good cow. She's definitely the better uddered cow of the two. Maybe milky enough for a 2-year-old, but that's okay. We really appreciate the balance of that udder. We really appreciate this female. She does get a little bit flatter made than this female on top does, and that's what's going to sort them for us. She doesn't quite balance up like this front cow does, and yet we really appreciate what she's done on her calf, and we really appreciate this cow. She's certainly soft enough middled. We really do like her. She does break a little bit in her loin as well when she gets on the move, and honestly, it's just the tiniest little things that separate these two pairs for us, and we love both of them. The female that comes in next, we really appreciate as well. Again, a very young 2-year-old, again, calving right at 24 months. Really good calf on her, arguably maybe as good a calf as what's in the ring. She gets a little bit shorter bodied, a little bit shorter quartered, does tip a little bit in her udder, and that's what's going to put her where she is. But boy, we like how robust she is. She's beautiful fronted, beautiful headed female, and the calf balances up just as well. And again, a very, very good calf in front of her. And again, we round up the class with a tremendous pair. Like, it's just, again, such a shame that we can't use them all at the top of this class, because who wouldn't love to own that pair? That's a tremendous pair. Really strong topped individual, calf's the same. She's not quite as soft made as some of these cows on top. Maybe could refine her teats as far as the length, especially a little bit. But man, that's a good pair. And again, just a shame we have to put them down the line. Tremendous group of cattle. Really a credit to the Gelbvieh breeders. Really, really good class.
Thank you, Judge Wilson. Winning our class, our champion 2-year-old with calf at side with a banner presented by Bluff Island Stock Farm is 2605 RWG Goodnight L145 with her calf at side RWG Goodnight N411, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh and Keston Holman and Real World Genetics. Our reserve female in the class with a banner from LCF Gelbvieh Livestock was 2603 AWB Twinview Lexus 58L with her calf at side AWB Twinview Lexus 80N, exhibited by Twinview Livestock, Parkbank, Saskatchewan, and Beamish Land and Cattle. At this time, we'd like to have a representative come forward from Flaidland Livestock. Can we have somebody from Flaidland Livestock come forward? Somebody in the barn could roust up one of the folks. On the Gelbvieh side, I'd like to also thank our ring people. We have Sherry Leachman and Lexi Cadu helping us out move our cattle around the ring, and we're very fortunate to have those folks as well. Thank you to the Flaidlin Livestock crew. They are this year's 2025 Agribition Herdsman Award. They're receiving an award from Federated Feed Co-op Coordinator, Gracie Medvid. We'd like to thank the Federated Co-op for providing these banners and prizes for our herds people. Once again, it's Flaidlin Livestock and their family from Gladmarsh, Saskatchewan. Congratulations. In the Gelbvieh side, we'll be bringing our top two from each of our classes from our champions. We'll be bringing them back in. Right now we have coming into the ring, we should have our junior division calves. We should have 2587, our RWG Kitty N457 ET. We should have 2584 from AWB Twin View Sugar from Twin View Livestock. We'll have our intermediate division champion 2590 DVE Davidson Miss Tip 176N. We'll have our senior division champion in reserve heifer calves. They were 2597 AWB Twin View Natalie 6N from Twin View Livestock and 2593 AWB Twin View Rebecca 56N, also from Twin View Livestock. We'll have our yearling heifers, 2600 RWG Parkland M320 from Royal Western Gelbvieh, and 2599 Flaidlin Mercury 12M from Flaidlin Livestock. And our most recent winners here are champion and reserve 2-year-old females. We'll have 2605 RWG Goodnight L415 from Royal Western, with our reserve champ in that class 2603 AWB Twin View Lexus 58L from Twin View Livestock. This will be our championship drive in our females, and we'd like to congratulate all the people that have made it this far out here. So congratulations, folks.
All right, back on the Simmental side, I think two bulls that are contrasting in their type and kind, and you can pick them how you like them. We went for the added skeletal extension and stretch and length of body in our class winner, and he's probably just a shot better when he gets out in the move, maintaining a leveler spine and leveler hip. That's where we would change this second place bull. He does want to get up underneath himself when you compare him to our class winner. Now, undoubtedly, he's a little softer sided, and that's what we like about him. But when push comes to shove, that's the decision that we had to make. Two good bulls that each have their place in the industry. The red bull that comes to us next, we love the body in this one. He's super deep sided. For us, he just gets outside himself. When you ask him to go, he's kind of throwing his shoulders out and his hawk out. But on the standstill, he's tough not to like because of the body and the shape that he's got. the bull we round the class off with, a bull that, lots of muscle shape and dimension to him. We just want to see him get out and go a little freer for us today.
Thank you very much. Tyson's placings in split one in our purebred bull calves, or yearlings 2024 models. First place returning to the championship drive would be entry number 3292, Rust Heavy Hitter 14M, KT Ranches, Cherryville, British Columbia. Second place also returning to the drive would be number 3287, PF Sniper RLP 31M. Shown today by Peacial Farms of Rocky County, Alberta. Additional owners, JCL Angus, Checkmate Livestock, Garrett and Amanda Rockefeller. Third place, entry number 3293, WKF Burn It Down, shown today by Windy Knoll Farm, North Kingston, Nova Scotia. And rounding out the top four, entry number 3294, RBP 2019K Buddy 8M, shown today by Double F Cattle Company, Parkside, Saskatchewan. Additional owner, Porter Semitals. Class in the ring is now split two in our yearling bulls with an age split of January 4th through to January 19th.
Well, let's give these Gelbvieh breeders a round of applause over on this side of the ring. What a beautiful lineup of females we have here in front of us. We've talked these females each individually in class, and we really do like cattle with performance, cattle that have got some middle, cattle that look like they're going to go out into the world and do some good in the industry. And boy, it's a great time to have cattle. We have never seen prices like they are today, and we hear there's that saying that says do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And if that isn't BS, I don't know what I've ever heard, because I don't think there's anyone that works harder than a rancher or a farmer. So you definitely work hard in this game, and there's a lot of hours that are put into it, and when you get the results that you see out in the ring here today, it does my heart good, because it takes a lot to get these cattle to town. It takes a lot to keep them in this kind of condition, to keep healthy, to be able to have this kind of hair coat. They're presented extremely well, and we're just really proud of what we see in the ring here today. Congratulations to all of you. Lee's going to go out and select our two champions, and it's been a real pleasure.
There you have it, folks. Our grand champion female is number 2605, RWG Goodnight L415, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh, Red Deer County, Alberta. And our reserve champion female today is 2603, AWB Twin View Lexus 58L from Twin View Livestock and Beamish Land and Cattle. So today they'll be receiving awards. Our champion from Bovagen with their representative Cassie Archambault. They'll be receiving a $500 gift certificate. We have also Paige Miller from John Deere with their grand champion banners, and from Saskatchewan Cattlemen's Association, Jolene Shea. And from MMP, Chublandago.
There's a fun set of Red Bulls here on the top end of this class. And again, depending on your preferences, you can sort them how you will. The calf that wins for us is the boldest sprung calf. You know, he's got some muscle shape down his top. I did wonder if he maybe, you know, was a little tighter in his forerib when he hit the ring. And I'm still maybe not convinced he's as explosive there as some of the other cattle in this ring, but I think he's stout, he's square. You know, he gets out and moves good enough. He's a good calf to lead the class. I think there's discussion between 2 and 3 here, and the dark red bull, he's just leveler out of his top and his hip when you compare him to our third place animal. A bull that's good in terms of his scrotal and his bone and his foot. Where we got, you know, when you compare him to our class winner, he's a little flatter at the base of his stifle. And maybe doesn't have the flex and go out of his ankle that our class winner does, but that's a long level, deep-bodied kind of a bull that, you know, has a lot of parts and pieces. We talked about this third place bull, how we would just alter him in terms of his spine and level him out of his hip, but I think that's a rugged, powerful dude with lots of natural muscle shape. He's lean and trim in the way he's put together. I think that's a good one. We just want to level him out. the one in third, a bull that's a little lower to the ground, maybe a shot more moderate than some of the ones at the top of this class. With that, he's a little more common in his front end, and maybe just a shot shorter striding than some of the other ones. But I think that's a good built kind of a calf from a muscle and body composition standpoint. Then the big guy on the end, the Blaze Face Bull, he's the longest spine calf in class undoubtedly, and probably the highest performing. For us, we just want to modify him when you set him in motion and just give him a little more reach and flexibility.
Well, thank you very much, Tyson. Placings in split 2 in our yearling division. First place, coming back to the championship drive, will be entry number 3286, DK Platinum 20M, DK Landon Cattle Corp, Lampman, Saskatchewan. Second place, also returning to the championship drive, 3289, Erickson Prodigy 24M, Erickson Simmentals Incorporated, Clavette, Saskatchewan. Third place, entry number 3291, WBC All-In 26M, Stewart Livestock, Newbury, Ontario. In fourth place, number 3288, Crossroad Fortify 171M, Horner Cattle Company, Minnedosa, Manitoba. And rounding out the top 5, we have entry 3290, CNT MAV 1M, Oak Hill Farms of Melville, Saskatchewan. We're going to move to the champion in our yearling bull division. Of course, our championship banner sponsored by X-Bar T Simmental. Reserve champion banner, Flying W Stock Farm. Coming out of split 1, we have entry 3292, Rust Heavy Hitter 14M. They'll be joined by entry number 3287, PF Sniper RLP 31M. And out of split 2, we have entry 3286, DK Platinum 20M. And entry number 3289, Erickson Prodigy 24M. Again, these 4 exhibitors will be competing for the champion and reserve champion in the purebred yearling bull division.
We move into these bigger yearling bulls, and it was a division that we had a lot of discussion on, and you know, we're not going to stand out here and claim that every one of ours is perfect, because that's definitely not the case. But there's always things you want to breed on and alter on cattle, and that's what makes judging so much fun for me, is getting to see these cattle, and it is such a small glimpse into their life that we get to see, and so it's the 15 minutes that they hit the ring, and some have good days and some have bad days, but this is probably one of the divisions we agreed on more once they got back out here, so Kareen will go show you the ones we like best.
On our Gelbvieh side, we'll be going into our balancer show now. It's a small show, but quality is there, I'm sure. So we have our first female will be female and balancer with her 2023 with her 2025 tattooed calf at birth. It's class 25, and we have 2608 HL Rosebud 61L with her calf at side MGF HE Rosebud 93N, exhibited by Maple Grove Gelbvieh of Narcissus, Manitoba.
Our final bull class in the Semitoles will be our senior bulls this time. Again, we just recognized our yearling champions. Of course, that was 3286 DK Platinum 20M with DK Landon Cattle Corp. Reserve champion 3289 Erickson Prodigy 24M Erickson Semitoles of Clavette. We have 3 exhibitors in this class, and then we're going to move into the overall Grand and Reserve Purebred Senior Bull. But prior to that, we'll get through the senior class, hand out the banners, sponsored by Scissor Creek Cattle and Black Gold, and then move into the overall Grand and Reserve Champion Drive.
Well, one balancer, 2-year-old, and actually she comes in here really fresh. I think the pair complement themselves. They're kind of identical looking cattle. I think when you get back and analyze them, very good footed, a really nice udder, maybe one of the nicer udders we've seen in the show. I think she's just balanced nice, nice pair of young females.
Winning that division and grand champion balancer female is HL Rosebud 61L with her calf HE Rosebud 93N, exhibited by Maple Grove Gelbvieh of Narcissus, Manitoba. They were receiving a banner presented from Fur River Livestock. And they'll also receive a banner presented from RPS Gelbvieh and a buckle, Canadian 50th anniversary buckle from the Mansask Association. Next up, we have Class 30. It'll be our balancer bull calves, born this past year, 2025. We have 2609 BPW Never Give Up 122N, exhibited by Maple Grove Gelbvieh of Narcissus, Manitoba.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, while our judges, Corrine Gibson and Tyson Hertz, are examinees and these good senior bulls, I'd like to introduce Mr. Bruce Holmquist. He has a very special presentation to make, and that gives Tyson and Corrine some time, because there is 3 powerful bulls out there. Bruce, the microphone's all yours.
Thank you, Glenn. A few years ago, the Canadian Simmental Association implemented a Award of Excellence program to recognize 2 things. The very best cattle in the show ring that did rise to the top on more than one occasion, but more importantly, the people dedicated to hauling those cattle around. It takes a lot of work to get these cattle in show condition and to town, and it's expensive. So through the process, we have established and will award collector's buckle sponsored by Red Flame Ranch, and then a banner from the Canadian Simmental Association. This year, the top 5 females of course are done, so we know those. We don't know the bulls yet, but in ascending order, 5th place was Ty D's Prickly Pear 27M with 76 points. 4th, Destiny 42H, Moissanite 16M with 77 points. Then we had a tie between second and third. Oh, sorry. I'm going by my notes on my phone. Third place, Mater Violet, 84M, and WBCME, 36N, with 79 points each. Then we had J-Star Dono Carefree, 2412, with 82 points. And the winner this year, with a very clear majority at 118 points, was RF Scream, 3121, with 118 points. Congratulations to Rancier Farms. Is there someone here from Rancier Farms, Cade and Garth, to receive the banner? Congratulations. And good luck on the Supreme on Sunday.
Well, over in the Gelbvieh ring, we've got just an April bull calf, and this calf is good. He just gets out and motors. He's tremendous, just a tremendous individual as far as the shape and the balance. Calf that's got a lot of meat and muscle, really good testicular development. He's got a beautiful head. It's masculine, and yet it's really attractive through his front end. And like I said, we just like the shape and how robust this calf is, and how he can move, and really yet a beautiful hair coat and soft made. He's just an excellent individual for a young calf.
Thank you, Judge Wilson. Winning our Balancer Bull Calf class was 2609 BPW Never Give Up 122N, exhibited by Maple Grove Gelbvieh of Narcissus, Manitoba.
Back on the Simmental side, I think it's an interesting trio of bulls here, and each have class advantages. The red bull we opted to use is definitely the freest moving bull in our opinion. Now, with that being said, I would alter how he gets out of his hip. He does want to drop those pins and cover his track that way. But when you analyze him and how square he hits the ground, that's the direct advantages he has over our second place bull. That second place bull wants to rotate up on that front end and maybe doesn't have the flex and go out of his ankle that we see in our class winner. Now, with that being said, on the standstill, I probably prefer the hip structure on our Black Blaze face bull. He's longer and leveler there. But I think an interesting duo at the top end. The bull that we round the class off with, a real shapely bull. He's got some muscle mass down the top side of his skeleton. We just like to alter him specifically on how he gets off his front shoulder.
Well, thank you very much, Tyson. We do have the placings in your champion in the Senior Bull Division, receiving the banner sponsored by Scissor Creek Cattle. Entry 3298, Ultra Barley Lethal Weapon 63L. Shown today by Canadian Sires and Donors, Mountain View County, Alberta. Additional owners, Double Bardee Farms and Ultra Livestock. Your reserve champion receiving the banner from Black Gold. Entry 3296, Tidy's North Face 24L. Shown today by Tidy Livestock, Streamstown, Alberta. Additional owners, Bits Semitals. And rounding out the top three, entry 3299, CMS Cross the Line 370L, Yellow Rose Cattle and Hampton Semitals, Fallon, Alberta. We're now getting ready for the overall Grand and Reserve Championship Purebred Simmental Bull, and we'll be inviting back the champions in each division to come back in for the championship drive.
On the Gelbvieh side, we have one entry. This will be our junior division, or our senior bull, senior bull in the Balancer division. 2610 GHGF Foreman L933, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh, with Rocky Top Gelbvieh, Pin to Point Gelbvieh, and Green Hills Gelbvieh being additional owners.
Well, Gelbvieh side here, our Balancer show isn't that big, but we got a couple good ones. Really good calf coming back. And this is a September born coming too. I think he's just really tidy bull, a bull that's got lots of shape to him, lots of round. I really like his hip, how it ties into him. Tail head sits down nice. Not a big show, but it's going to be a good one.
Congratulations to Royal Western with Rocky Top, Pinto Point, and Green Hills Gelbvieh additional owners and winning the Senior Bull Division.
We're ready for the championship drive in the Simmental pen for our Bull Division. Coming out of the Junior Calf Division to be entry number 32, 32, and 3252. Out of the Intermediate Division, entry number 3269 and 3268. Out of the Senior Division, we have entry 3253 and 3267. Going into the Yearling Division, will be entry number 3286 and 3289. And out of the Senior Bowl, we have 3298 and 3296.
Well, we've got a really interesting championship over here in the Balancer Gelbvieh side of the ring. We've got a really complete calf. He's just in April. Spoke about him. We love the balance in him. We love the hair coat in him. He's really classy. He gets out and really tracks out free and easy. He's got enough testicle for his age. Really proud calf. He comes off the top of his shoulder really, really nicely. Tremendous neck and head in this calf, and yet you get in behind him and he's got all kinds of shape and muscle and well down into his stifle, and just a calf that we really, really like. We really do appreciate the September-born off-age fella. There's a lot of mass in this guy. He's certainly wide enough when you get in behind him. We'd like to change his shoulder structure for us. He comes off that shoulder a little too straight, a little too far forward. It affects his movement a little bit, and so that we would certainly change about him. We tidy him up a little bit in his sheath, but we do like the testicle development in the bull. He's certainly, again, really up-headed. He's got a lot of performance for his age, and he's certainly a lot of size for his age. With that, we're going to go ahead and use this calf for champion. We just like the structure in this calf and the balance and everything that goes with the bells and whistles of this calf. So he's going to be our champion today, and the big bull's going to be reserve. And again, we appreciate a lot about that big bull, but again, structure would need to be a little bit different for us to be any higher. Congratulations to both of you.
Thanks, Judge Wilson. We'll be winning the Balancer Bowl is 2609 BPW Never Give Up 122N, exhibited by Maple Grove Gelbvieh of Narcissus, Manitoba. And our reserve is 2610 GHGF Foreman L933, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh with Rocky Top Gelbvieh, Pinto Point Gelbvieh, and Green Hills Gelbvieh as additional owners. They'll be receiving banners presented from the CGA. And Thackeray Land and Cattle and Diamond Z Livestock.
Well, as we transition back onto the Simmental side, and an awesome bull lineup that the breeders should be dang proud of, and I do believe that we saw something for everybody out here in the Simmental Bull Show, and that's kind of part of this industry, is find the ones that work for you. Crean and I were asked to do a job, and it's a job that we take very seriously, and we're not only humbled and honored to be here, but we take it as a large responsibility to be out here. I do think maybe we did make history as being the first mother-in-law and son-in-law combination to ever sort of show together, and it's been fun and challenging and everything in between for us. And Crean and I do, I guess for lack of a better term, we're more so the faces of the franchise of our operation, whether we like it or not. But there's a lot of people that help us. Specifically our spouses, both Crean's husband Clayton at home feeding cows right now, and then my wife Callie, that are sometimes the unsung heroes for our operation. And just because we're fortunate enough to put the mic in our hand, we don't get to do this without their support and their sacrifices as well. So those are two people that definitely need a shout out for us today. There's a lot of people that help get this show through the ring, and first and foremost, our ring stewards have been awesome out here, and they're also some of the unsung heroes. They make a lot of miles, and it's a thankless volunteer job that they are out here. So I do appreciate the extra steps that they make. This arena always has held a special spot in my heart. Not only do I enjoy exhibiting here, I enjoy sorting cattle here, and sorting cattle is one of the things that I would rather be on this side of the mic than the other side, I guess, to put it short, because when I'm on the other side, it's out of my control. But I do enjoy being out here in the show ring too, exhibiting our cattle, and the agriculture industry has always had a home here at Canadian Western Agribition, and they've always put the beef cattle at the forefront. So I want to commend Agribition for investing in these buildings, investing in our agriculture industry in the way they have, and they don't do that without the success or the support of the sponsors that we see here ringside. So it does come full circle. It's the sponsors, the people that distribute that money, that allow us breeders to be out here and showcase our genetics and showcase our programs. So I do appreciate the focal point of Agribition being the seed stock operations here, and that's not something that gets said about every show. So if you will, I know we're getting long on time and there's another show to follow, but let's put our hands together for the Agribition, the sponsors, the volunteers that make this show possible, and again, an honor to be out here. Crean's going to go show you your champion Simmental bull, followed by your reserve. Thank you guys again.
And your champion, Simmental bull, coming out of the yearling division, entry number 3286, DK Platinum 20M, DK Landon Cattle Corp, Lentman, Saskatchewan. Well, why don't we just stay in that same division? Your reserve champion, also coming out of the yearling division, entry 3289, Erickson Prodigy 24M, Erickson Simmentals Incorporated, Clavette, Saskatchewan. We have a number of dignitaries with us this afternoon to make the presentations of our banners. Of course, Labatt Simmentals are presenting the reserve champion banner. Our good folks from John Deere, Myers, Norris, Penny. They're also here, Saskatchewan Cattlemen's Association, Jolene Shea. Again, we have Paige Miller joining us from John Deere, Mackenzie Gordon with M&P. And again, also Kathy Archambault, she'll be here, and she's presenting a $500 certificate from Bovagen to our Grand Champion Bull. Again, that would be for Semen Collection Services as well. So how about another round of applause, not only for our Simmental cattle, but for all of the major partners and sponsors who make this show happen.
Over on the Gelbvieh side, we'd have a couple of association awards from our Manitoba Saskatchewan Gelbvieh Association. Each year we present commercial and purebred producer of the year. This year we have Neil Overby from our association is going to present our commercial breeder of the year to Red Willow Ranch. Red Willow Ranch is operated by Jesse and Gail Sontag with their daughter Briar at Good Soil. They are a generational family farm, having taken the cow herd over from Jesse's family. Gelbvieh bulls are now being used over the Angus and Simmental base of the 175 head cow herd. The three-way cross has proven very effective, and they work to retain the half Gelbvieh females as replacements for the herd. They also have a grain segment to the farm and produce their own feed. After a farming accident that left Jesse's dad in a wheelchair, the farm was rented out and the cow herd drastically reduced. Since graduating from Lakeland College, Gail and Jesse have successfully increased the cow herd and taken over the operations. They focus heavily on trouble-free cattle since the bulk of their pasture is forest or bushland. They'd like to focus on highly productive maternal cow families through their bull acquisitions. Red Willow Ranch is a great example of young people charting their own path in agriculture. They demonstrate how hard work, determination, and dedication make goals achievable. Congratulations, Gail and Jesse. Our Purebred Breeder of the Year awards are no stranger to this facility, to the old facility, and to the Gelbvieh breed. We'd like to call Vern and Eileen Davidson forward from Davidson Gelbvieh. Vern and Eileen have been breeders since 1986, and that's one of the first times I met them. We were co-exhibiting and out here at Agribitions. So we'd like to bring Vern and Eileen forward, congratulate them on their hard work and many years of dedication to the Gelbvieh breed. Congratulations, Vern and Eileen. We're back into showing on the Gelbvieh side. We're going to start with our first class of purebred bull calves. These calves were born April 1 to August 1, 2025. We have 2612 Flaidland Ice Cube 28N, exhibited by Flaidland Livestock of Gladmar, Saskatchewan. We have entry 2613 RWG Newsflash N491ET, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh, Red Deer County, Alberta. 2615 LCF No Limitations 347N, exhibited by LCF Gelbvieh Livestock of Haslett, Saskatchewan. And we have 2614 RWG Nothing But Tail Lights N428ET, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta. Our first and seconds in this class will also be our junior division champion and reserve champion bull calves. And they'll be receiving banners from Wade Davidson for champion and Lonesome Dove Ranch as reserve champion.
We got a real deep-bodied one to start this group of bull calves. Calves, they all got enough shape to them, definitely. Calves that got some hip in them, you get behind. Their testicle developments are adequate enough for these young guys. Is this the longest neck calf we're starting with? I don't think so. I do like his head, though. He's a little tidier made and headed, but he's a little shorter neck. But he is the deepest in the class, and I think he balances up as nice as anything in the group. Calf at second, I really like the hind leg on him. He's got a really nice hip to him. Gives up a little bit of prettiness maybe when you get looking underneath him and up through at brisket, but again, he's got a nice shaped skull to him. Calf with lots of shape when you get behind him. Calf in third, another one that's got lots of shape, lots of rib to him. I'd make him a little more confident on them hind legs when he gets moving around. He's not real sure where they want to be all the time, but calf, I'm sure at a little bit of time that's going to straighten itself out. Calf with a lot of shape and a lot of softness about him as well. Calf down the line there, he's just maybe a little greener than some of these. He's got certainly some nice attributes, but gives up some performance and power today.
Thank you, Judge Wilson. Winning our first class of bull calves and being our junior division winners will be 2613 RWG Newsflash N491 ET from Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta. Second in class, 2612 Flaidlin Ice Cube 28N, exhibited by Flaidlin Livestock of Gladmar, Saskatchewan. Third in class was 2614 RWG Nothing But Taillights N428 ET, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh, Red Deer County, Alberta. Rounding out our class is 2615 LCF No Limitations 347N, exhibited by LCF Gelbvieh of Hazelet, Saskatchewan. So our first and second, they won a banner from Junior Division champion would be Wade Davidson, sponsored, and our reserve champion was Lonesome Dove Ranch. Next up, we'll have our bulls born February 16th to March 31st. It'll be our intermediate division champion and reserve champion bull calf as well. We've entry 2616, LCF King's Legacy 118N, exhibited by LCF Gelbvieh Livestock, and 2617, DRT Lonesome Unlock 393N from Lonesome Dove Ranch, Pontiac, Saskatchewan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished the backdrop and a photo opportunity with our judges and all of the grand champion, reserve champion banners, etc. Certainly a pleasure to be working alongside the folks from the Gelbvieh Association, and they're showing an excellent show going on the other side of the ring as well. We're going to move into what I call the finale of our show. This will be the produce of Dam. Of course, this is for purebreds only. This is class 42. It's sponsored by Compass Creative Designs. Again, produce of Dam.
Well, again, we got another real powerhouse to start this class. You know, you get behind this calf, there's a lot more shape than you might realize when you look at him from the side profile. And he really is a smooth-bodied calf. He ties everything together pretty nice. Again, really nice footed calf, trucks along the ring like with ease. And we like the calf coming in second. He gives up a month pretty much, I think, for birth date, but just hard to compete with the weight per day age of this big black calf winning the class.
Winning our class and being our intermediate division champion with a banner from Jonas Cattle Company will be 2617 DRT Lonesome Unlock 393N, exhibited by Lonesome Dove Ranch. And reserve will be 2616 LCF King's Legacy 118N, and they'll receive a banner from Celine's Gelbvieh. Coming in the ring on the Gelbvieh side is class 46, our purebred bull calf born January 1 to Feb 15, 2025. 2621 AWB Twin View Top Dollar 74N, exhibited by Twin View Livestock of Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. We have 2623 DVE Davidson Jackson 55N, exhibited by Davidson Gelbvieh of Pontiac, Saskatchewan. We have 2624 Tip Mr. Noble 91N, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle Incorporated, Weyburn, Saskatchewan. And we have 2618 BLB Goodview Navigator 543N, exhibited by Goodview Gelbvieh of Punashai, Saskatchewan. This is a split one of these class of bulls, born January 1 to February 15th.
Again, we'd like to congratulate Rancier Farms of Killam, Alberta for produce of Dam. And again, that banner sponsored by Compass Creative Designs. Our next class in the ring on the Simmental side will be class number 43, Get of Sire. Again, this is for purebreds only. Get of Sire, class 43. Sponsored by Silver Creek Simmental. Tyson. And class 43, Get a Sire. I'd like to congratulate DK Land and Cattle Corp, Blankman, Saskatchewan, and receiving the banner from Silver Creek Simmental. Congratulations.
Well, over in the Gelbvieh ring, we've got a super long-bodied black calf to start this class out with. That's as long a body as you'd maybe ever see in a calf. He's just got an extra rib than anyone else, which makes him not quite as deep-middled as the calf behind him, certainly, because it's hard to be both. But he really holds his top in him well for a really, really long calf. Hooks to pins. He's really nice. Tail head lays into him very, very nicely. He's got a lot of testicle for his age. He's certainly sound enough on his feet and legs, and a calf that there's a lot of calf there. We get into this calf in behind him, and we really, from his hip forward, prefer this calf to any calf in the ring. We love the body in him. We love the heart girth in him, the way his shoulder lays into him. He's attractive in his front end. Where it gives us a little bit of difficulty is in his hind leg structure. We would change that a little bit, give him just a little more bone to put him any higher today, but we really do appreciate this calf. You get in behind him, he's certainly got enough mass, and certainly enough mass over top. The third place calf really isn't wanting to be here today. He's a good calf. There's lots of good in this calf. He gets a little bit higher flanked, wants to rise up a little bit in that tail head in comparison to these other calves, and he's just not wanting to show himself off. We're not 100% sure he wants to stand really wide on those fronts. Might not be natural in him. He's just not having the day he wants to have today, and that's a little bit unfortunate. We get into the calf that rounds up the class, and he's certainly a long-bodied calf. He's certainly a solid top calf. He really is attractive in his head and his neck. He's masculine enough and yet attractive. He's a calf that gives up some of the balance to these calves on top of him today. You could give him a little more flex in his pastern to put him any higher, but we like this calf as well. Strong group of calves. There's certainly some differences in type and kind.
Thank you, Judge Wilson. Winning our first split in our senior division calves is 2623 DVE Davidson Jackson 55N from Davidson Gelbvieh of Pontiac, Saskatchewan. Second in class was 2621 AWB Twin View Top Dollar 74N ET from Twin View Livestock of Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. Third in class 2618 BLB Goodview Navigator 543N from Goodview Gelbvieh of Punashai, Saskatchewan. And rounding out our class was 2624 TIP Mr. Noble 91N, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle Incorporated of Weyburn, Saskatchewan.
Class 44, the Breeders' Herd, purebred only. Let's congratulate DK Landon Cattle Corp, Blankman, Saskatchewan. They received the banner courtesy of Prairie Wind Farms. At this time, I'd like to reintroduce Mr. Bruce Elmquist with another very important announcement.
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks to Laura Shuttleworth, who's been doing the tabulating. We do have the results of the Award of Excellence bull winner in ascending order. Fifth, Master Nashville, 7N with 84 points. Fourth was Erickson Prodigy, 24M with 90 points. Third was Ultra Barley Lethal Weapon, 63L with 105 points. Then we moved to WF Century, 293N with 108 points. And the 2025 winner of the Red Flame Ranch Buckle and the Award of Excellence Male is WKF Burn It Down 130M with 122 points. Congratulations to Wendy Knoll, Laura Parsons.
On the Gelbvieh side, we have our split 2 of our senior calves. We have 2622 DVE Davidson Gent 30N from Davidson Gelbvieh of Pontiac, Saskatchewan. We have 2625 TIP Nova 19N, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle of Weyburn with an additional owner of Nolan and Dylan Thackeray. We have 2620 AWB Twin View Fort Sedgwick 11N ET, exhibited by Twin View Livestock, Parkbank, Saskatchewan. And we have 2619 BLB Goodview North Star 522N from Goodview Gelbvieh of Punashai, Saskatchewan. On the Gelbvieh side, I'd once again like to welcome and thank Lee and Don Wilson from Miller Wilson Angus in Bashaw, Alberta. We'd like to thank them for taking time out of their day and their week here at Agribition to take in and judge our Gelbvieh show. It's very much appreciated.
We got a nice complete calf to win this class. I think he's exceptionally sound and just a really nice softness about him. A calf that blends that shoulder in as nice as any in the group. Certainly gives up some performance. We got some big dudes in here, but I think for the whole package, I think he's the nicest, most complete one that we can win the class with. We like this big power meat machine, comes in second. He is a big top, big loin bugger. Would you pretty him up a little bit in that front end? Sure, I'd pick his head a little higher off his body, set that shoulder into him a bit, but you certainly admire the muscle and the mass the calf has. Same as our third calf. That's a big dude. Calf that's got lots of bone to him, lots of foot to him. I think a calf that you get behind, he's stout and square. You tie that tail head in just a little better and maybe balance him up just a little better to run this other calves in the class, but certainly a calf with some performance and some size and some frame to add pounds in the fall. Young guy comes in at the end of the line, I think just comes in a lot greener than the rest, gives up some performance, of course, but calf that's certainly made nice enough, it's sound and he's square, and you have a very nice group of calves.
Thank you, Lee. Winning our second split was 2620 AWB Twin View Fort Sedgwick 11N ET from Twin View Livestock, Parkbank. Second in class was DVE Gent 30N from Davidson Gelbvieh, Pontiac, Saskatchewan. That was entry 2622. 2619 BLB Goodview North Star 522N from Goodview Gelbvieh of Punashai, Saskatchewan. Fourth was 2625 TIP Nova 19N from Thackeray Land and Cattle Incorporated with Nolan and Dylan Thackeray as additional owners. Next up, we'll have our top two come in for senior division bull calf, and we'll have a champion banner slate actually from Oberg Auction Service as our sponsor, and a reserve champion banner from Diamond Z Livestock.
If we could have a representative of Black Gold and Horner Cattle Company to the announcers area, please. Black Gold, Horner Cattle Company to the announcers area, please.
Well, nice division here, guys. I think they're all calves with a lot to offer the breed. I think just very sound cattle with a lot of performance, a lot of mass. We are in the beef business, and these pounds weigh, and I think we got a good example of that out in the ring. We're going to go show you our two favorites. Congratulations.
There you have it, folks. From our second split, we have 2620 AWB Twinview Fort Sedgwick 11N from Twinview Livestock. Parkbeg is our champion senior calf. Our reserve senior champion calf is 2622 DVE Davidson Gent 30N from Davidson Gelbvieh of Pontiac, Saskatchewan. Congratulations. Again, they're receiving a slate from Oberg Auction Service. Thank you, Don. And Diamond Z Livestock sponsoring our reserve champion banner.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have two more awards to acknowledge here in the Simmental side of the GMC show arena. Of course, our exhibitors are very busy in the back, probably getting their cattle ready to go to the tie-out. So we're very pleased to have with us, representing the Farm Credit Corporation, John Pasarick. Again, he's a relationship manager. Our Premier Breeder Award, and that'll be receiving the banner, goes to Black Gold, and our Premier Exhibitor to Horner Cattle Company. Again, congratulations, and a big thank you to our folks from Farm Credit Corporation. I do appreciate you.
On our Gelbvieh side, coming in the ring, we have Class 48. This will be our yearling bulls. our younger yearling bulls, I guess. Yeah, we have 2 splits. So these are born March 1 to December 31st, 2024. We have 2627 TIP Mr. Marvel 310M, exhibited by Thackeray Land and Cattle Incorporated of Weyburn, Saskatchewan. And we have 2626 RWG Canadian Money M330 ET, exhibited by Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta. On the Gelbvieh side, I'd also like to congratulate and thank our ring people again, Sherry Leachman and Lacey Cadu. They've been doing great work out there today. Thank you.
Well, 2 really good bulls in this group. You know, there is some differences in them, but there's a lot of similarities too. This red bull that starts, man, he's smooth-bodied. He's coming in here a little leaner and greener than probably the black bull stands behind him, but he is so sound. He's got a really, really good foot on him. Bull that's evidently probably been breeding cows, and he looks like he has. Just he moves around here with such ease. You get behind him, and he's stout enough. There's enough bull. With the black bull in second, we love him. I absolutely love the calf. He's just not running those hind legs today like we would wish he was, but man, that calf is so soft and deep-bodied and smooth with it all. A lot of power in both of them. Look forward to seeing you back.
Thank you, Judge. Winning this split of our yearling bulls is 2627 TIP Mr. Marvel 310M from Thackeray Land and Cattle of Weyburn, Saskatchewan. Rounding out is 2626 RWG Canadian Money M330ET from Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta. In our next split, we'll have a single entry. We have 2628 BBG Maximus 36M, exhibited by Braylon Blake Gelbvieh of Glentworth, Saskatchewan, coming into the ring.
Well, again, another bull that's just nothing wrong with him. He's really sound. Again, a really nice footed bull. What can you say? There's a lot of bull there. That shoulder lays in nice and tight. He's got some depth of flank. I think he's just another really good individual.
Thanks, Judge. Winning the class was BBG Maximus 36M, entry 2628 from Braylon Blake Gelbvieh. We'll bring back our first and seconds from the previous split, and they will be our champion, and we'll be looking for our champion and reserve champion yearling bull, of which we have a banner from Goodview Gelbvieh for champion and Hurlburt Livestock Limited as reserve champion.
Well, over here at the Gelbvieh ring, we've got a really nice division here. We've got certainly some real pounds and performance in this ring. Cattle that have got some true muscle and top, and that's really what the Gelbvieh breed has to offer as one of the bells and whistles that they have to offer. They really do have a lot of shape and cattle that have some performance. With that, you know, we always lean to the soundest cattle and cattle that can get out and move and track, and we've got 3 really good individuals in this ring. Lee's going to go out and select our champions.
Congratulations to 2627 as your champion yearling bull. TIP Mr. Marvel 310M from Thackeray Land and Cattle of Weyburn, Saskatchewan. And a reserve champion bull will be 2628 BBG Maximus 36M from Braylon Blake Gelbvieh. They'll receive a banner from Hurlburt Livestock Limited. I think that's our first picture of the day together. We have Mr. and Mrs. Thackeray get to have a picture together. I'd also like to thank Sheila for doing all her yeoman's work of presenting banners here for us today. Another cog in the wheel. In the Gelbvieh side, we'll be having our senior champion, or senior bulls coming, which will be our senior champions, as we have one division of them. But we'll have bulls born 2023. We'll have 2629 coming into the ring. Shortly here, 2629 will be IFG Ivers Alpine L351ET, exhibited by Twinview Livestock of Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. And we'll have entry 2630 from Royal Western Gelbvieh, which is RWG Loaded or L418. So, and their additional owner is CDC Farms.
We're already a half an hour behind. I'm like, yeah, I can't help it. Nobody is down here helping.
What's up?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about just moments away from getting underway with our main Anjou show. So if it looks like the cattle are all lined up out back, we're going to start with our percentage classes. So I think within just moments, we will be getting underway with that as well. It'll be Class 1, obviously, is what we're starting with. So once they get all the banner tables lined up and stuff, then we will ask those cattle to come in. We're ready? Okay. Okay, perfect. Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the main Anjou show at CWA 2025. In our Class 1 percentage female class. Thank you. We're going to have entry 2891 Roach Rosebud 3140N. We'll also have entry 2889 Reeds Anera 257N. Entry 2888 Reeds Anera 255N. Also 2895 Vandy 302 Rose 532N. Entry 2890 Roach Bella 557N. And entry 2892 Pick 6 Miss 513N. Those are going to be entries coming in, and we'll go through that as we get further along. I believe we're going to turn it back over to the Gelbvieh side.
Thanks, Don. I think we got two really, really good ones out in the spring here right now. And you know, you could have made an argument either way on these bulls, and we probably wouldn't argue too hard, but we just love this big bull, how he moves, and he is so sound and long-bodied, and he's square over that top, and got some shape to him, he's got some round, he's got a really nice amount of bone and foot under him. I think a bull that just really ties everything together very nice, as does our second bull. I mean, he's maybe even a little deeper sided than the bull that wins the class, but if I'm going to pick on him, I'm going to say he opens up a little in that chest floor today. Walks a little wider on it than maybe his hind sometimes, but I think a calf that's got so much to offer. I love the head shape in him and the hair, and you get behind him, there's plenty of shape. Big testicle calf. I think two really, really good bulls to bring back in here in a few minutes.
Thanks, Lee. Winning our senior division bull will be 2630 RWG Loaded L418 from Royal Western Gelbvieh of Red Deer County, Alberta, with an additional owner, CDC Farms. And our reserve in this senior class is 2629 IFG Ivers Alpine L351ET from Twinview Livestock of Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. Our champion will receive a banner from Davidson Gelbvieh sponsoring, and our reserve senior champion receives a banner from the PGA Sale Group, Prairie Gelbvieh Alliance.
Over here on the main side today, ladies and gentlemen, we're very privileged and very honored to have Mr. Chad Wilson sorting through our cattle here today. Chad's from Wawota, Saskatchewan. He owns and operates Haraldson's Polled Herefords. Very, very well-respected program in the polled Hereford industry. They breed about 200 head annually and have an annual bull sale as well. With Wilson Lee's bull sale every spring in April, and a fall production sale in October as well. They've judged many, many shows across North America and do an extremely good job. Again, like I said, very, very well respected in the show ring, alongside the cattle, at the end of the microphone, as well as an absolutely top-notch Hereford program as well. We're very, very lucky to have Mr. Wilson here today. I think as we go out throughout the day, it's okay to go around and give him a great round of applause, because I'll tell you what, we appreciate having him here.
On our Gelbvieh side, we're going to have our championship drive coming in the ring here. We're going to have all our entries coming in from our first and seconds. So leading off our junior division, we have 2613 RWG Newsflash N491ET from Royal Western Gelbvieh. And our reserve in that division was 2612 Flaidland Ice Cube 28N from Flaidland Livestock. In our intermediate division, we have 2617 DRT Lonesome Unlock 393N from Lonesome Dove Ranch. And we have 2616 LCF King's Legacy 118N from LCF Gelbvieh. In our senior division, we have 2620 AWB Twin View Fort Sedgwick 11N ET from Twin View Livestock. We have 2622 DVE Davidson Gent 30N from Davidson Gelbvieh. In our yearling division, we have 2627 TIP Mr. Marvel 310M from Thackeray Land and Cattle. We have 2628 BBG Maximus 36M from Braille and Blake Gelbvieh. And most recently in the ring, we had 2630 RWG Loaded L418 from Royal Western Gelbvieh. And 2629 was our reserve in that senior division, IFG Ivers Alpine L351 ET from Twin View Livestock.
Well, over in the Gelbvieh ring, we have a tremendous championship drive. We've really liked these cattle that we've seen today. We give the Gelbvieh breeders a lot of credit. There's, this breed used to not have so much balance, so much softness, some hair, testicle in these cattle. They've just changed the look of them a lot. There's always been a lot of good in this breed, but they really have made cattle that are very attractive and cattle that can get out and move. And we just appreciate these cattle a lot. There's just a lot of mass when you get in behind them. There's some soundness and cattle that are really attractive and we really like. With that, we'd like to thank you for having us here to judge today. We know what it takes to run a show. We run a few ourselves, and I'll tell you, I'd like to give the volunteers and the people who run Agribition a big round of applause. Also, we've had some gorgeous ring ladies here today that have run this ring tremendously well, so we'd like to thank them as well. It just makes the show so much nicer when things run smoothly and they help the cattle along, and so thank you to you two. It's been tremendously good. With that, again, thank you so much. This has been a tremendous group of cattle. You guys should be really, really proud of the product that you brought out here. As I said before, it's a great time to be in the cattle industry. We can all be super happy about that because, boy, there's been some years that it hasn't been so fun. And cattlemen and cattle women kept trudging on and making this thing work. And, sometimes we robbed our kids' piggy banks. Sometimes you had to decide where you were going to pay the power bill or the gas bill. And now you can pay them both. It's pretty nice. So congratulations, Gelbvieh breeders. It's been a tremendous show. With that, Lee's going to go out and select our champions. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Congratulations to Royal Western Gelbvieh with RWG loaded L418. And your reserve from the same division, the seniors 2630 or 2629, sorry, IFG Ivers Alpine L351ET from Twin View Livestock of Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. We'll have now our presentations from John Deere with Tyson Miazin. We have Shelby Corey from Saskatchewan Cattlemen's Association with their banners and presentations for our champions.
All right, over here on the main Anjou side of our first class, we got some words from Mr. Judge Mr. Chad Wilson.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's certainly an honor and pleasure to be out here doing this main show today, and I think we got started off with a real nice class here, and definitely a class where we got some variation and some different things we can do. But I think to start off, we got a nice duo of heifers here. I think two heifers that complement each other and very similar in the way they're built and constructed. This heifer that's going to start off the class, she's the youngest one out here, just a mid-April heifer. I think a heifer that's got a lot of shape to her rib. You get behind her, she's really wide pinned, has a lot of shape to her quarter, really a nice lag on her, gets out and moves with ease. A heifer that's fresh and feminine and has a real nice look to her, and I think one that'll have a bright future ahead of her. This second place heifer, I really like the body and the rib and the mass that she's got. She's one that's got a lot of doability to her. Maybe just like to clean her up through her chest floor a bit, but a heifer that's got some flex and some give when she gets out and goes, and I think one that's just going to go on and be a nice female to use when she gets down into production. This heifer in third, I mean, if you want the big power heifer, I guess this is your heifer here. I'd like to tame her down a little bit in her maturity for the stage of the game we're at right now, but a heifer that really has a lot of bone and a lot of hip. Maybe I'd just like to freshen her up through her front end, but certainly a high-performing, very powerful individual here. The next heifer in line, really a nice-looking female. Really like the extension she's got up front. I really like how her neck comes out of the top of that shoulder. I'd just like to soften her up, give her a little more belly, a little more depth of flank to get her any higher, but certainly a female that's got a lot of look and a lot of style about her. So this next heifer in line, really like the rib in her. I'd like to change how she's built in her hip structure. When you watch her go, you'd like to change how she travels off this rear end a bit, but definitely a female that's got enough rib. She's got enough look to her. Definitely a heifer that's got enough performance to her. And the female that rounds out the class, you know, a nice female to end this class with. Definitely enough rib and shape to her. Just like to level her out from her hooks to her pins. Maybe lengthen her out of her hip a bit, but definitely a nice set of heifer calves to get started with here today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of your split number one, in your class number one of the percentage females born in 2025, is entry 2891, Roach Rosebud, 3140N, started by Maverick 331L, exhibited by Roach Springs Show Cattle, Estevan, Saskatchewan. Also coming out of this split is entry 2890, Roach Bella 557N, started by Dual Icon 802F, exhibited again by Roach Springs Show Cattle, Estevan, Saskatchewan. Rounding out this class was entry 2892, Pick 6, Miss 513N, as well as entry 2895, Vandy 302 Rose 532N, exhibited by Vandy Cattle, Benson, Saskatchewan. Additional owner Kate Nielsen. Entry 2889, Reed's Anera 257N, and exhibited by Reed Ranching at Halford, Saskatchewan. And rounding out that first split was entry 2888, Reed's Anera 255N, exhibited by Reed's Ranching, Halford, Saskatchewan. Coming in is our second split of this percentage born females in 2025. Entry 2901. This is Dinero Miss Rosebud 61N. Started by NMR Maternal Maid, exhibited by Dinero Farms, Melfort, Saskatchewan. 2893. Spellbound Charlotte 502N. sired by LEM Making Moves, exhibited by Spellbound Mains, McCown, Saskatchewan. Entry 2897, MHC Glamour 6N, sired by NAGE Sturgis 171L, exhibited by Hanson Livestock, Canisto, Saskatchewan. Entry 2894, this is Red Fox Newentown, sired by Rasa Kenny Rogers 457K, exhibited by Red Fox Mains at Kendall, Saskatchewan. Entry 2900, this is CGH Nevada 118N, sired by Vandy Game Time 313L, exhibited by Hanson Cattle at Weldon, Saskatchewan. Entry 2899, CGH Nelly 202N, sired by Vandy Game Time 313L, exhibited as well by Hanson Cattle, Weldon, Saskatchewan. There is your split 2 of the 2025 born percentage females. As we go throughout the show this evening, we certainly will be announcing some of our sponsors and some of our major sponsors. As we go through that list, please make sure that if you visit any of their booths or you see that their operations, whatever, please thank them for their sponsorship, as without their gracious sponsorship, of course, we would not be able to be having these tremendous events.
I think we got a really nice heifer here to start off this second split with, just a heifer that's really well balanced. You love the depth of rib, you love the spring of rib, you love the shape of her hip, really good in her hook to pin design, a nice leg on her, really like her joint and her bone size, really has a nice foot on her, gets out and moves with some ease, just a really complete heifer. This heifer in second, this baldy heifer, this heifer is really fresh and she's green out here, but she's got some natural muscle to her. She's really got a nice look to her. She gets out and moves with ease, really has a nice set of feet and legs on her. I think just a nice logical way to go to second place here. This third place heifer, this is a high performing heifer. Just bring her out if you would. Really a long bodied heifer, really gives you a nice look. I guess when you get this heifer in motion, you just like to see her reach out a little more off her front end. Just like to stretch her out a bit in terms of her stride when she gets out on the move. This heifer next in line, a heifer that's got a lot of length of body. She just maybe gets a little weaker spine, change her in her hip structure. You just like to strengthen this girl to ground. She gets a little weaker pasturing, but definitely one that's got some length of body. She's got a nice look to her. I think one that you do appreciate the presence in. Heifer next in line, real long-sided heifer. She's got some hip to her. She maybe just gets a little lower fronted. Like to just clean her up in her underline a bit. Maybe just give her some more swoop and shape to that center body. But a heifer that you appreciate the bone and the length in. And the heifer that rounds out the class, definitely a long-fronted heifer, attractive made one. Just like to add some more bone and some more power to her. Just stouten her up a little bit from behind, but definitely a nice class from end to end.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wilson. So coming at a split number 2 is entry 2900, CGH Nevada 118N, exhibited by Hanson Cattle. Also coming out of this split is entry 2893, Spellbound Charlotte 502N, exhibited by Spellbound Mains, McCown, Saskatchewan. So coming back in for our champion and reserve champion percentage heifer calf, coming at a split number 1 will be entry 2890. 2891 will be coming, I believe, in first. This will be Roach Rosebud 3140N, exhibited by Roach Springs Show Cattle, Estevan, Saskatchewan. As well will be entry 2890, Roach Bella 557N, exhibited by Roach Springs Show Cattle. And coming out of the last split will be entry 2900, CGH Nevada 118N, and entry 2893, Spellbound Charlotte 502N. 2893 is exhibited by Spellbound Mains, and 2900 that just left this class, exhibited by Hanson Cattle. Judge Wilson will sort through these, and we will crown our champion and reserve champion, percentage heifer calf, born in 2025.
I think we had a nice group that we brought back out here. All four of these heifers are certainly sound structured. They're good-footed cattle. They're cattle that get out and move with some ease. They got some rib. They got some capacity to them. I think females that'll go on and do a heck of a job down the road for these exhibitors and breeders. So I think the heifer that come out of this second split, she's a heifer that just very complete, very well balanced. She'll go ahead and be your division winner. And the heifer that come out of the first split will be reserved.
I'm not sure, so I have to see. So who was first? So your champion percentage heifer calf born 2025 will be entry 2900. CGH Nevada 118N, sired by Vandy Game Time 313L, exhibited by Hanson Cattle from Weldon, Saskatchewan. Your reserve champion female is entry 2891, Roach Rosebud 3140M, sired by Roach Maverick 331L, exhibited by Roach Springs Show Cattle, Estevan, Saskatchewan. Congratulations. Snuggle in nice and tight, even though you might not get along at home.
On our Gelbvieh side, we have our judges back from pictures, and we'll be working up into our finale of our show here. We have our progeny Adam coming in the ring. I have 3 entries on my list here. We have 2632 from Royal Western Gelbvieh. And we have 2633 from Braylon Blake Gelbvieh and 2634 from Twinview Livestock. I guess we have 2 entries. First was, okay, thank you, Don. First is Twinview Livestock with their progeny Adam from Parkbeg, Saskatchewan. And second place was 2633, Braylon Blake Gelbvieh of Glentworth, Saskatchewan. Next up in the ring, we have Class 55, which is our breeders' herd. And on my paperwork, I have 2635 from Davidson Gelbvieh of Pontex, 2637 of Lonesome Dove Ranch of Pontex, 2638 of Royal Western Gelbvieh from Red Deer County, Alberta, and 2639 of Twin View Livestock from Parkbank, Saskatchewan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back over here on the main ring. It's funny how that rings true, eh? Here's going to be your Class 3. These are going to be your yearling bred heifers of your percentage females born in 2024. Coming into the ring in the first split, entry 2908. Vandy 717, first rows 475M. Sired by BKMT, first edition 415F ET. Exhibited by Vandy Cattle, Benson, Saskatchewan. As well as entry 2905, Vandy 950 Uptown Girl 447M, sired by GCC All Access, exhibited by Ryan and Kate Nielsen, Almeida, Saskatchewan. Entry 2902, PCF Millie 74M, sired by BAAL Break the Bank ET, exhibited by Reed Ranching at Helford, Saskatchewan. Rounding out this split is entry 2909, BKMT Miss 4133, sired by BBR FX May We All 6D, exhibited by G2 Cattle, McCowan, Saskatchewan. There's your first split of the yearling heifers. We will have two splits of these heifers.
As our breeders' herds filed in the ring on the Gelbvieh side, a little note that we have coming up on December 13th, I believe. We have our PGA sale, which is in conjunction with our Mansask Association annual meeting in Moose Jaw, and we also have a donation heifer donated by Diamond Z Livestock, one of our fellow breeders in our Mansask Association. If anyone would like to purchase donation tickets towards it, I think they're $10 and are available ahead of time or at the sale. And it's a great heifer calf donated by Diamond Z Livestock. We'd like to thank them for their contributions to our association. Our last class, our Progeny of Dam, we had a chair donated by Davidson Gelbvieh to our winners, which were Twin View Livestock. This class here, our Breeders' Herd, we have our winner will receive a slate from Oberg Auction Service, and American Gelbvieh Association has donated a free ad in Gelbvieh World for our second place.
Well, I'd like to just reiterate what Don said, and thank you, Gelbvieh Breeders, for having us here today. Breeders' Herd class it does say a lot, I think, about what people have at home, and it really does show the uniformity of what they can bring to town. With that, I'm going to just announce we only need one, our champion female and champion buller, and third group down here. You're going to be our champions, but congratulations, everybody. Thank you for having us.
Congratulations to Royal Western Gelbvieh on their champion breeders herd, and they'll be receiving the award from Oberg Auction Service and the AGA donation of an ad. Next up in the ring, we'll have our final class of the day. Will be a get of sire, and we should have 2 entries in there. We should have one from Royal Western and one from Twinview Livestock.
Well, we got a really nice class here right from top to bottom, and I think you could do a few different things out here. But for me, this heifer that we're going to start off with, when she come out, she kind of just catches your eye. You really like the look to her. You like the balance she's got. You like the flexibility she's got. You like how her front end comes out of that shoulder. Just really nice in her joints. She's good at the ground. She gets out and moves well enough. Just a well-balanced female, a female that just really hard to pick apart when you get down to analyzing her. This big, powerful heifer in second, she maybe didn't go quite as good on this first lap, but I think when we spun him again, this heifer gets out and moves quite well. A heifer that has a lot of length of body. I like how she's built from her hooks to her pins. She's really got a nice leg set to her. Just a real nice, well-balanced heifer. Pairs really nice with the heifer that wins the class. This third place heifer, this is the stoutest one in the class. I mean, she's got a lot of width over her top. She's really wide pinned. Like how pulled apart she is. I'd just like to free her up a little bit when we ask her to go to get her any higher today, but certainly you got to admire the power in this one. And this heifer that rounds out the class, definitely the freshest heifer out here. Definitely a female that gives you a lot of look. She's really complete and well balanced, and this heifer gets out and boogies, just gets out powered a little bit today, but I think that's a really nice heifer to round out this class, so good job, young girl.
So ladies and gentlemen, there it is, coming out of your first split in your class 3 of your yearling heifers. Moving on will be entry 2905, Vandy Uptown Girl 447M, exhibited by Ryan and Kate Nielsen of Almeida, Saskatchewan. Also coming back will be entry 2902, PCF Millie 74M, exhibited by Reed Ranching, Helfert, Saskatchewan. Rounding out that first split was entry 2908, Vandy 717, First Rose 475M, exhibited by Vandy Cattle at Benson, Saskatchewan, as well as entry 2909, BKMT Miss 4133, exhibited by G2 Cattle, McCown, Saskatchewan. Coming in next is going to be split number 2 of your 2024 born yearling heifers. First in will be entry 2903, Roach Sephora 402M, sired by BKMT Game On 227G, exhibited by Roach Springs Show Cattle, Estevan, Saskatchewan. Additional owner be Eldom Cattle Investments. 2906 is your next entry, Spellbound's Paralyzer 402M, Started by LEM Making Moves, exhibited by Spellbound Mains, McCown, Saskatchewan. Entry 2904, RASA Licorice Twist, 557M, started by Dual Icon 802F, exhibited by Arch Holdings, Spears, Saskatchewan, additional owner Jack Archdecken. Entry 2907 will be TCF 004 Maternal Molly 47M, started by NMR Maternal Maid, exhibited by Double C Livestock, Canwood, Saskatchewan, additional owner Camden Allstat.